Hey, I'm Bobby. I'm an addict. The way I met this guy was this addict. The way I met this addict. How's that? Better. The way I met this addict was after about 8 years being clean. I got so busy with the life that this program had given me that I got too busy to come to meetings, and started slacking off, and pretty soon I wasn't coming at all, and I made it about 18 months, and then the disease found a way for me to use. And I didn't even really want to use, but it happened, and of course I went straight to the bottom and wallered in it for a year and a half. And I got so sick, I wound up in the emergency room bleeding to death, and they patched me up, and I got back home, and I knew what I had to do, but and I was having a hard time doing it because the disease was telling me that I wasn't good enough to go back. They didn't want to see me anyway. I was a dirty relapser, and it's tried everything to keep me from picking up that phone, but I finally did, and I called the hotline, and this addict answered the phone. And I'd known him, years ago, because right as I was leaving, slacking off on meetings and stuff, he was just coming in and getting clean. And so anyway, told him what was going on, and he came to my house, or he met me right close to my house, and would take me to meetings, and held my hand until I was able to be clean long enough to start walking on my own. And it was a big part in saving my life, because I was very iffy about what I was going to do. I was either going to get clean or I was going to blow my brains out. So he came, drove me 30-some miles to meetings, and brought me back, made sure I was okay. And it was that was about 6 years ago. And so I've been going to meetings out at Lewisburg and getting to know people more and more, and starting to have a friendship with this addict. And I'd been clean about 5 years, and all of a sudden I found myself in a hell of a jam. I was in a hellhole, man. I was in a hellhole, and I hadn't even used. Man, that was a bitch. I went to jail clean, and which was good, but also very confusing because I'd never gone to jail clean before. Been there many times, loaded, but never clean. And I finally was able to get a bond, and it was really high. And it was a big one. And nobody, didn't seem like anybody really wanted to go this bond, or they didn't even have the resources to do it, even if they wanted to. And so my friend stepped up to the plate, and went and put everything on the line just to get me out of jail. And this was, really a very serious problem, serious charges, and I was so blown away and freaked out that I wasn't sure what I was going to do when I got out of jail. I didn't know if I wanted to keep on going. But just knowing that, somebody in the program had faith in me, that I would do the right thing, actually kept me clean. If it hadn't been for God and the program, I wouldn't be standing here right now. So this guy's pulled my ass out of the fire twice in a big way. And, I really have a lot of gratitude for him. I'm very grateful to have him as a friend. And during this past 6 years, there's been so many times when, I was going to use, because everything just got wound up in my head, and I thought using might be the way to take care of it. And I'd call this person, and they'd always have the right thing to say. Kept me clean many times. So anyway, that's enough about me. I just like to, let's just hear from the addict himself, Cooper.
I'm Cooper. I'm an addict. Okay, am I close enough we can hear? Okay. Oh, God, the weight of expectation. Okay. Well, I did this about 8 years ago, and, and it feels just as scary now as it did then. It's like sitting there with the butterflies and listening to the introduction. And God, you listen to those introductions, it's like, who the fuck are they talking about? That's not me. I didn't do that shit. Well, I did, but I didn't have any, my purpose was to get to the meeting. And if you want to come, well, then let's go. Hey. Because I'm going to the meeting. I really like going to meetings, and I've only been to one meeting this week too. So it's this is only my second meeting this week, which is not I usually try to go to at least 3 meetings a week. So I'm a little bit I'm probably not in the most spiritual place I could be, but here goes. I believe I was born an addict because I can't see any other reason for me, doing all the crazy shit that I did. Because I came from, a really good family, really, caring, loving, honest, decent, hardworking people, and I had a really normal childhood. I have lived and. Almost my entire life on my family's dairy farm in Greenbrier County, and I still live there and work there. I've been on virtually the same farm my whole life. I did well in school. I had lots of friends. I played sports. It was all really like when you go to some of you have been to treatment, and they do that whole family role thing, and I was the hero child. I was the one who did everything right. And then I met drugs, and it all changed. And then I became the black sheep, and it really, really, really changed my life. And I didn't really start using, till I got to college, because where I went to school was a very, very structured private school. You knew where to be, when you were supposed to be there, and what you were supposed to be doing pretty much through the whole day. And I do really well in structured environments. It's when I get to make my own decisions that I get in a lot of trouble. If somebody else is making decisions, I do pretty good. But when I make my own decisions, things snowball real quickly. And that's what happens when I got to college, is they just kind of turned you loose. I did the usual teenage drinking binges and all that kind of crap, but I didn't really, from where I was from, there wasn't, we didn't do dope in my part of the world, in that part of West Virginia. and I was going to college in Massachusetts, and there was a lot of dope up there. And and I finally met the drugs that I liked, and I can remember it really clearly. I was one day, I got high, and thought this is really great, and so I did it again the next day. And this is really great, so I did it again the next day, and then I started doing it in the mornings, and that was my life for the next 14 years. I lived to use and used to live. I did manage to, get through college and come back home to the farm but I still, I structured my life in a way that it was possible for me to use on a regular basis. And I was really good at that, I was really good at making sure I had what I thought I needed. I hardly ever ran out. When I got clean, 14 years later, I wasn't worried about going to jail. I wasn't worried about dying. I still had my job. I was still married at the time. I had a place to live. I had money in the bank. There were no consequences that were terrifying me particularly. I just couldn't fucking live like that anymore. There's some. I'm not going to tell war stories because one, I don't have any exciting war stories to tell. I sat on the couch and I used. I watched a lot of Star Trek. Listened to a lot of Pink Floyd and that was when I wasn't working, I was using, and sometimes I was doing both. I can milk cows and do mushrooms, no problem, man. Hey. So, but what I found was that complete self-obsession that happens in drug addiction is that, my tolerance for the rest of the world became, it really shrank. I really couldn't deal with anyone, let alone myself, and it just seemed like, it was one of those things, like the whole world is ganging up on me to ruin my life, That's how it feels like, if you people would just quit fucking with me, it would be okay. And, my old lady's pissed off at me, my family's pissed off at me. I didn't really have contact with other human beings except, like if you had something that I wanted or you had something, there was some sort of exchange going on here. There were no real relationships in my life because there was nothing that was important as getting high. Nothing. And that world is just a miserable fucking place to live. And that's what I bottomed out on self-hatred and misery. I couldn't stand myself. I couldn't stand the things that I was doing. I couldn't stand the direction my life was taking. It was just, it was getting bad, and all I could see was it getting worse. It was that long downward spiral that they talk about in the basic text, and that's the one I was on. And so I went to see a counselor because I'm depressed, and small wonder. And they suggested to me that maybe I might want to stop using drugs every day. Which, I could kind of conceptualize that, but, and I made a few attempts to stop. I did. I could go 24 hours without dope, but all I was going to think about was when I could get high again. That's all I thought about. And you did not want to be around me in that 24 hours because I was pissed off. I was mad at the world because there was nothing between me and the world, and it sucked. And, and there just, continued to be these series of incidents that just, I felt like either I'm losing my mind or, something's got to change. And I ended up in a treatment center, which, okay. The best thing that happened there is they took me to a meeting of Narcotics Anonymous. That is absolutely the best thing that happened there. You know, and it was there in the treatment center, and I know I'd been there, you know, a couple days, and you know, I remember going into that room, and for the first time in my life, I met people that were just like me, but they weren't doing drugs. And I never knew that that was possible, because all the people I knew like me, you know, we used. I mean, and that was, you know, I had never met anyone who used like I did and stopped. You know, they might exist, but I didn't know about them. And, you know, I'd heard of AA. You know, they even took us, you know, they took us to AA meetings when we were in treatment, and they were nice people, but I didn't know what the fuck they were talking about, you know. Because they talked about, you know, blackouts and car wrecks and all kinds of shit, and I just sat on the couch and got high. I didn't do that shit. You know, they were very friendly, but I you know, you know, I could not identify at the level of symptoms. We didn't have the same symptoms. And I did not feel, you know, when I walked in that meeting, I didn't feel like I was with people like me. And that, you know, and when I walked into Narcotics Anonymous, even, you know, before I talked to anybody, I knew you all were just like me. I had that moment of identification, you know, that saved my life. You know, it made it possible for me to believe that there was a way that I could learn to live life and not use drugs. And maybe it wouldn't suck. You know, because these people seemed, you know, they were sitting around and talking and laughing and acting, you know, like things were okay. And they weren't high. And, you know, for me, you know, not being high was not okay. You know, I mean, I tried it a few times and it really sucked. And, I just could not imagine life without drugs. And even if there was life without drugs, it was going to suck, you know. But eventually life sucked with drugs, so I had to find, you know, another solution. And these people, you know, that was in February of 1991, and I picked up a white key tag, and I have not used since. You know. So I know this works because before I got here, I could not stop using. And since I've got here, I have not had to use since. So I know that this works. That's my experience, is that this works. There's, you know, my life has actually been a lot more interesting since I got clean. And I'm not going to tell all those stories either. Because I don't want to, you know, I mean, I have done a lot of shit that was not a good idea. More than once. And, you know, and I don't want to try to sound up here like I'm saying, well, you can do all this crazy ass shit and it'll still be okay. But I did. I've survived myself now these last 16 years. And it has been, you know, one series of miracles after another. And the program is really simple, and I haven't done any drugs no matter what happened. I go to meetings on a regular basis. I try to get to at least 3 meetings a week. You know, if not more. I found that the way my life is today, it's hard to get to more than that. But at one time, I'd go to 5, 6, 7 meetings a week. And I live in an area where there's not a whole lot of meetings in my town. You know, you got to hit the roads if you want to get meetings. And so I did that, you know, and I have a sponsor. You know, I've had, you know, I've had a sponsor pretty consistently since I got here, and you know, and I worked all 12 steps, and I do a lot of service work. You know, there's all kinds of different kinds of service work. I myself am deeply involved in the whole service structure thing, and you know, I'm the regional delegate and for the second time, and I do H&I and all this, you know, and that's what I do, and I've been doing that stuff since I got here, and I haven't used any drugs. You know, it's just really been that simple. You know, go to meetings, get a sponsor, work the steps, be of service. That's it. That's, you know, that's one of the beauties of this program, that no matter how long you've been here, you know, those, as far as I can tell, those components have not changed for me at all. You know, they remain constant. And by doing those things, my life has changed a lot. And like I said, and I have not had to use drugs. And that is a miracle. You know, I found that going to meetings is a lot different than it was when I started. You know, when I first came to meetings, it was all about the identification and seeing my sponsor and you know, I mean, hearing all kinds of things that I'd never heard before, and being able to relate to what people were saying real closely, and you know, getting guidance from people who were, you know, on down the road from me, and you know, I mean, it was you know, because there was, you know, lots of us with not a lot of time clean, and you know, and now when I go to my home group, you know, I'm the one that's been there the longest now. And it's different because, you know, it's a small town, it's a small meeting. There'll be like, you know, there's like a dozen of us in a meeting, and half of them are getting papers signed, and you know, and there's a couple other people with a couple years clean, and then there's me. And so I don't it's different, and I've had to think about, you know, why am I still here? Seriously, I mean, it's one of the things that happens after we've been here for a while, and because, you know, a lot of those people I got clean with, they aren't here anymore. You know, there's still some people around. There's actually in this room, there's a number of people that were here when I got clean, and that, you know, that's one of the reasons I keep coming to things like this, so I can see those people. You know, but in my home group, you know, for one, you know, they've moved away. They're in other meetings, so they got high. You know, And so there's me and all people with a lot less experience than I have, which doesn't make me better, but it does in some ways kind of separate me out from a lot of the people that I go to meetings with. And you know, and this kind of comes back to, I mean, I don't know anyone, you know, yeah, I've stayed clean, and I've seen a lot of people come and go, and a lot of people get high, you know, and it's not like I have a better program than they do, or it is only by the grace of God that I've been able to stay clean this time. Because there's been lots of times that you know, I could have gotten loaded, should have gotten loaded, might have gotten loaded, but for whatever reason I chose not to, and other people did. But I keep coming back now. You know, it's just not about me anymore. You know, the reasons I go to meetings, the reasons I'm still part of this fellowship, and the reason I love Narcotics Anonymous, and I do really truly love Narcotics Anonymous, it really is a lot now about being there for other people. It really and truly is. You know, when I was using drugs, it really felt like my life had no purpose or meaning except for the pursuit of my own pleasure, which I took to great extremes. And I can't really say that changed a lot after I got clean. I just didn't do it with drugs, because I still lived in self-obsession. And over the years of working steps and doing service, I learned how not to live in self-obsession, which is not to say that I don't ever do it anymore. But, you know, I have moments that I don't. And, you know, my life does have some purpose now, and it's not about me. I found that living my life for me was how I got to this room. Living my life pursuing what I wanted is total bullshit. It just leaves me feeling like a piece of raw meat every time. Every time it has done that. You know? But by coming here and being guided, you know, really truly for some higher purpose, all of a sudden, well, not all of a sudden, but slowly over time, you know, all of my dreams were fulfilled by not pursuing them. You know, by coming here and being a part of this fellowship and doing the work, you know, that's what my name tag. I put they had all these stickers down there, and I got the little plow horse that says "Good work," because I swear to God, that's how I do my recovery. I'm just plowing that furrow, going ahead one step at a time. I don't really know what I'm doing or why. Okay, I'm just doing it because when I'm trying to make my own decisions, when I'm trying to figure it out, when I'm the one, you know, calling the shots, you know, I get into trouble. But when I follow this path that's been laid out for me in Narcotics Anonymous, when I do what you guys did and take the suggestions I've been given and do what it talks about in the basic text, you know, then I get everything I need, and not only, and then, you know, pretty much all of my desires have been met. You know, everything that I could have ever wanted is in my life today. I swear to God. And I didn't go get it. It just showed up. Now that's a miracle. Okay, that is absolute miracle. And so my purpose for living truly, and this comes back to what I understand the 12th step to be about, is in the service of others, is in the service of my home group, is in the service of the newcomer, is in service of the fellowship. That is my reason for living today, in the service of my family, in the service of the people that work for me. You know, that's why I'm here. Because when it's about me, you know, when I am living my life for me, I'm fucked. But when I am living for something greater than myself, then my life is worthwhile, and only then. And that has been a really hard lesson for me to learn, and I've learned it by doing it wrong many times, and pursuing a lot of things that led me feeling like shit. And you know, but when I've pursued the stuff that's been put before me here, you know, that's when my dreams have come true. And I'm really not going to go on for a long time about this. You know, that this program is so simple. That's truly the beauty of it. Even for people, especially for someone like me, and I know there's others out there who like to overthink every goddamn thing and analyze the shit out of it. You know, we have this program that is too simple to do that with. You just can't do it. Okay? I still, you know, and there are parts of this, I don't know how it works. I don't know why sitting in a room full of other recovering addicts, you know, makes it possible for me not to use drugs. I don't know why that is. I've thought about it a lot. Okay? I can't understand it, but it works. And my life has been a series of examples like that over and over again. Just shut the fuck up and do it. Okay? Just don't ask why, just do it. It'll be okay. And you know, and that's how I got here. You know, that's how I've stayed clean this time. That's how I got to be standing up here in front of you. And I'm really, really grateful, and I love you all. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Cooper. Hey, I'm an addict. My name's Alan. See, I'm the vice chair. Wes took off, so I guess I got promoted. Let me see what all I got to do here. I think it's okay. I've asked me and Doug to recognize the states. You can get that piece of paper there, Doug. Start from the bottom, work our way up, Doug.
I'm an addict named Doug.
Hey, Doug.
I'm going to go through the states. People that are here, make as much noise as you can. Anybody here from Texas?
How about Indiana? You got to make some noise.
Anybody here from New York?
Hey, is anybody here from regular Virginia?
How about Delaware?
Anybody from Kentucky?
How about New Jersey?
Michigan? Oh, y'all got to clean that up.
How about Pennsylvania?
South Carolina?
How about North Carolina?
I'll let you do the next one, Doug.
You want me to do the next one?
I'm going to let Doug do the next one.
How about Ohio?
Is there anybody here from West Virginia? Close this time. Hey, did we miss anybody? If we missed you, stand up and tell it. Everybody's got that. Okay, thanks a lot, everybody. Who you going up here with? Oh, you're back. You're up to Bert.
CC. Before we do the clean time countdown, I want to recognize the convention committee members. Okay. First off, we've got Vice Chair Alan L. Treasurer Bert J. Registration Rick S. Vice Chair Jerry A. Refreshment Carl K. Vice Chair David H. He's here somewhere. He's making coffee. Merchandise Rocco A. Vice Chair Shane M. All right. And I'm Wes, and I'm the convention chair. All right, we're going to do clean time countdown. Are you guys having fun yet? Yeah. And we've asked Bert J. Some of us change, some of us don't. Who's helping you? Anybody? Who's helping you?
Nobody.
Okay.
I'm a sick addict called Bird. In case you're wondering, I'm a breathalyzer. I don't know why you have a dirty mind back there. I guess since this is my 37th straight Mountaineer convention, I'm allowed to dress up like this. Anyway, this is a highlight of I get 2 highlights a year, and this is one of them when I get to come up here and do the Clean Time Countdown. I really get a lot of chills, and if you don't get excited, there's something wrong. Well, not looking at me, standing up for your clean time. What we're going to do is we're going to start with 30 years and then come down, and when we get your year or your day, stand up and make some noise. Is there anybody here that has 30 years or more clean? How many they have?
I don't know. Ask it.
How many years do you guys have? How many years? 30? How about the other guy?
32.
32. Okay, let's give him a hand.
Keep coming back.
So we're going to have to start with a higher year next time. Okay, anybody got 29 years clean? Okay. How about 28 years clean? 28. 27. 26. How about 25? Okay. How about 24 years? How about 23 years? Okay. How about 22 years? Okay, Kevin. How about 21 years? 21. How about 20? 20 years. How about 19 years? 19. How about 18 years? 18. Hey, that's mine. I was about to forget. My favorite year. How about 17 years? How about 16 years? How about 15? 15 years. How about 14? Anybody got 14 years? How about 13? 13 years. Okay. How about 12 years? 12. How about 11 years? 11. How about 10 years? 10. Nine years, 9. Eight years, 8. How about 7? 7 years. How about 6 years? 6. How about 5? 5 years. How about 4 years? 4. Three years. 3. How about 2 years? How about 18 months? 18 months. Okay, so you know you're special. We're going to do each month now. How about 17 months? Anybody got 17 months? How about 16 months? 16. How about 15 months? 15. How about 14 months? 14. How about 13 months? 13. How about 1 year? 1 year, 12 months. How about 11 months? 11. How about 10 months? 10 months. How about 9 months? 9 months. How about 8 months? 8 months. How about 7 months? 7 months. How about 6 months? 6. Which one? How about 5 months? 5 months. How about 4 months? Anybody got 4 months? How about the guy from Cincinnati named Ken has 112 days clean today? Where's he at? I bet Ken won't forget us now. How about 90 days clean? Anybody got 90 days clean? How about 60 days? 60. How about 30 days? Who's got 30 days? $29 days. 29. 28 days. 27 days. 26 days. How about 25 days? How about 24 days? 24. How about 23 days? 23. Hey, Dave. How about 22 days? 22. How about 3 weeks? 21 days. How about 20 days? 20. 19 days. Okay. Bye. Bye. How about 18 days? 18. 17. 16 days. 16. 15. 14. 2 weeks. 14 days. Anthony. How about 13 days? 13. Again? You had all the newcomers. How about 12 days? 12. 11 days. 10 days. 9 days. She on your team too? Is she on your team too? How about 8 days? 8 days. How about 1 week? 7 days. There's 3 of them. 3 of them. Three of them? 5? That may be all you're going to get. 7. 7. They had 7 days. There were 5 of them. Way to go, Ken. You won't forget us, will you? How about 6 days? 6. Well, you got 2 of them for 6? I thought there was 2. Maybe he just hugged the girl. How about 5 days? 5 days. How about 4 days? 4 days. Bunch of low ones. How about 3 days? 3 days. Got somebody? How about 2 days? Anybody got 2 days? I already have. Well, you just tell me which ones. You may have more. You may have more than what you counted. Anybody got 1 day? Anybody, a newcomer got 1 day? Okay. They said it couldn't be done, but in this room we have 2,252 years, 2 months, and 12 days. Anything less than 6. Okay. Anybody been clean all day? Give yourself a hand. Okay, before we go, we have some books up here for anyone that has 6 days or less clean. Come up here and we have a book for you. Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Yes. Okay, guys, we're not done yet. We got some people who want to recognize some clean time for other people. So if you want to do that, come to the microphone now, please.
Hey, I'm Jonathan Addick from Cincinnati. I have the pleasure of giving an addict from Cleveland who has 12 years today his 12-year coin. Rob from Cleveland.
How do I start that?
I'm an addict. My name's Don.
I'm an addict named Dawn.
Hi, Dawn. Wait a minute.
I got an addict that means a whole lot to me. It's a sponsee. She celebrated 9 months yesterday. Amy, come up and get your key tag.
Yeah.
All right, let me get her boyfriend. All right, and it's me again. And Jimmy, you got 9 months. I got a key chip for you.
I'm Sharon and I'm an addict. Hi, everybody. I have somebody who's very near and dear to me, celebrating 90 days clean. My niece Becky from Bluefield. Becky! Where's she?
Becky.
There you are. I love you.
Move it.
Oh, hush. I got a hug.
I know you do. You got like 5 people.
My name's Duke and I'm an addict. Doug S. has 7 years clean. Doug, come up and get your medallion.
I'm Phil Addict.
Phil.
I got a 8-year coin for Ozzy. 8 years, Oz. I got a 13-year coin for my sponsee, Joe. Hey, Joe.
All right.
Hi, I'm an addict named James, and my sponsor couldn't be here tonight, but he's celebrating 22 months of clean time today. His name's Joe.
All right, guys, we're going outside for the circle in the grass across the little road out there. Thanks. Oh, one more. Lord.
Hi, my name's Elena. I'm an addict from Beckley, and Pam is celebrating 30 days continuous clean time today, and she's ready to work steps. Come get your key tag, Pam.
All right. We're going to have it before.